What do you think's happened to Ryan in the last few weeks where like he just is openly attacking us at all times?
I didn't attack anyone. Tyler looked like he was doing something. I was being courteous.
Ty, you notice that, right? Like,
Are you just being like? Are you being extra sensitive?
see, look, Ty again. He's like,
I
anyway,
just
let's
asked a
focus.
question. All right, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Card Talk. I'm Ryan, joined as always by Tyler and Lou. And on today's episode, we have a bunch to get into. We're going to talk about my trip to NYC last week to meet Tyler, Lou, Jay, and the rest of the squad over at Bleecker for Trade Night. We did a box rip of the new VeeFriends with Gary. We'll get into that. Of course, we've got Facebook questions and play of the week, like always. And Lou, Tyler, and I will make predictions about our NCAA tournament picks. But first, as always, we got to start with what's on your mind. Lou, you look focused. Ty looks like he might be doing something. So we'll start with you today.
That was kind of mean.
That's all it.
What do you think's happened to Ryan in the last few weeks where like he just is openly attacking us at all times?
I didn't attack anyone. Tyler looked like he was doing something. I was being courteous.
Ty, you notice that, right? Like,
are you just being like? Are you being extra sensitive?
See, look, Ty again. He's like,
I
anyway,
just
let's
asked a
focus.
question.
I'll rebound for the team. For me, what's on my mind today is it's officially F1 season, and that's pretty much. I don't want to
race week.
Yeah, it's race week. That's all that really matters to me. I watched all of Drive to Survive this weekend. I don't know where you guys are at. I'm not sure if Ryan watched all of it. I'm pretty sure Tyler did not. But I'm ready. I'm ready. We have Courtney just popped in for a second. She got a little nervous.
Did you see her face?
Yeah, I hope that stays in.
We need that in there.
Yeah, that needs clipped.
Yeah. So it's race week. I'm fired up. That's all I'm thinking about. I bought some cards over the weekend. I traded for a card at trade night, so I'm feeling good.
Ty?
Dude on the next to me on the plane yesterday morning was literally watching Drive to Survive. Some like 55-year-old dude. Having you in the city was sick. Card trade show at Bleecker was sick. Zablo, Jacob, the whole crew held us down. I picked up 2 cards, I believe, at trade night. A Messier game worn fight strap and a Pele Cosmos Messier Rangers, both game worn patch. Like New York card. I was pumped about both those. Golf season is here. Y'all say F1 season is here. Golf season is here. Although the players this weekend was kind of anticlimactic. Just weather was crappy. Obviously, we'll get into some of the Vee Friends stuff. By and large, whether it's PWCC, eBay, Rally, all of these companies, NFTs are going to start to eat a lot of collecting. Figital. If you have big-time collections, by and large, they'll likely be stored in vaults, and you'll have NFTs front-facing them. So I just want everyone to, if you're on that side of the fence, amazing. If you're listening to this and not on that side of the fence, I'll probably be talking more and more about digital collectibles going forward. There's a lot of ideas to throw around about how we allow access to people to this podcast with NFTs, but all those things are what is on my mind. And I'm down in Florida, and it's raining, and it's going to be raining for multiple days in a row. So I'm excited to talk about cards.
You hate to see that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it's nice up here, Ty.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Beautiful sunny day in New Jersey right now.
Yeah, definitely with Lou on F1 season starting. Definitely doesn't seem like it's been the longest off season, especially compared to some of these other sports, like when football ends in January for college football and doesn't start till Labor Day weekend. Definitely not enough of it. Shout out to F1 for being, much long.
Shout out to the
Manchester United has a massive Champions League game today against Atletico Madrid. Just wanted to pop that in there. Champions League is hot, firing up. Mbappe PSG had a unfortunate fallout last week where they took a late second half L. Who do you guys have winning the F1 season?
Right.
Lewis.
I'm getting real nervous. He sounds not enthused with the car.
Oh.
Based on what I've been reading, and this is what he did last year and like whatever, but based on what I've been reading, he is not enthused with the car, and Mercedes is not happy with the car. So that's a problem.
The old break yourself down to overcompensate.
But like at a certain level, like the times are the times. It's not like they're flying through the trials and everything. So it's like, I don't know. I'm going to go with Leclerc.
Charles, my guy, Ferrari.
Charles.
I love it.
Wow.
I'm going to go with Charles.
That would be awesome.
It would.
I got Max on the B2B. As an uninformed throw-in, feels like the guy might get hot.
I was thinking about it while I was watching the show this weekend, and I think it's net better for the sport if someone other than Lewis or Max wins.
For sure.
Yes, especially if it's like
agree.
a guy like Lando or George or Leclerc or.
It's definitely not going to be George. I think it's either going to be Charles.
Fair.
If it's going to be anyone, it's going to be Charles, Lando.
How's the product?
Alonso, maybe? What do you mean, how's the product?
The new, what you guys
Chrome?
ripped. Yeah.
I think it's good, right?
I like it. Yeah, I like it.
I think people were not happy with it because there's like a lot of parallels and stuff like that. But
What do you like about it, Ryan?
The price point is about a fifth or a sixth of last year's. I mean, it's last year's is over $3,000 a box. Yeah,
Got it. Currently, not what they retailed at.
Yeah, I mean, until it gets up to, until it continues to climb. But yeah, it's affordable now. I think online I saw yesterday it's about $850 a box. It started out at like $700. It's up to $850 a box. Last year's is like $3,200 a box, I think, on like Blowout. So yeah, I mean, but like the cards look good. Lewis has autos in them. Max is a redemption. Shout out to Max, man, for being difficult, not being on Drive to Survive, not signing his redemptions. Like he just
listen.
Nah.
I need a drive.
Listen,
go ahead.
He did just sign what $50 million a year.
Yeah, so did Lewis, and Lewis is still signing his autos and still being on Drive to Survive, even though he didn't win. Yeah, man of the people.
Listen, I get it.
I think I need a Drive to Survive support group because what I watched on that show, I hate Red Bull more than I ever did before.
I haven't seen it, so I haven't seen it. Also,
no,
please
as
do not
the
spoil
racing
it.
as the racing team. I do love a Red Bull. I'll be honest with you.
Are there any rookies in the product?
So that's what's strange. Some of these people, like I saw Mick has an RC logo, Rye, Yuki has an RC logo. They had cards last year. The part they have to figure out, and I think it's just like part of the learning experience, is like these guys have F2 cards, and then they're giving them F1 RC logos, which I guess kind of lines up, but it's just strange because it's very clearly not their first appearance.
Is this like a similar thing to soccer?
Different product in F2?
That was multiple questions. What are we doing?
Sorry. You say they have an F2 card. There's an F2 product?
No, it's in Topps Chrome.
Yeah, in Topps Chrome they have F2 guys. So like I would imagine like this year Oscar Pastari is like an F2 guy they added who's a hot name like within the F1 community. Mm-hmm. If he gets called up to F1 next year, will 2022 F1 be featuring his RC logo even though he's in this year's product? It's very confusing.
I think it makes for a good debate.
Yeah. It's fun.
Yeah. Agreed.
Real quick before we move on, title odds. What I have in front of me.
Yeah.
Lewis plus 140.
Yeah, makes sense.
Max plus 300.
Yep. And then Charles plus 700.
And then you go Russell and Leclerc both plus 500.
Yeah. I don't think Russell would ever win the championship. That makes no sense whatsoever. If they're in a situation where Mercedes can win, I think they're going to let Lewis win unless the first half of the season goes weirdly.
I can't imagine.
Because Lewis and Russell are the same team, and so brand-wise, they're not going to let Russell.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they don't want to, succeed to his teammate.
Yeah, they don't. It's not even about succeeding to his teammate. It's just like he's the number one driver. Like they're going to let the number one driver win the championship if they can.
Let me ask a kind of nerd question.
Yeah.
Just because you guys educate me. Is there certain expertise and skill and is being like a number two guy, like, is it auto that when Lewis is out, George goes number one? Or is there kind of like a skill to being the Robin to a Batman? Like,
there's definitely a skill.
The number two to the number one? Or like, will they maybe bring in a new number one and George is like a number two guy and he's good at that?
It depends on the situation. Some guys are better as number two. Like I think Checo would be considered a very, very, very good number two, Sergio Perez. Someone like George, who's a young guy, they're realistically, they're like grooming him to become the number one driver. Same thing with,
Happened with
and then there's
Max.
situations like a McLaren where Lando's the number one and they have a very seasoned number two who's always going to be the number two, and that's what he is, Daniel Ricciardo.
Yeah, Ricardo.
Mm-hmm. Ricardo's
fair.
number 2. Is he kind of like an older cat? When you look at him, he kind of looks like a big brother to like be able to be. I don't know.
He's
I
going to
just
lose
get that
like
vibe.
favorite all-time guys.
I love Daniel Ricciardo. He's such a savage. Like, he's just a beast. He's a little bit older. Yeah, he's been around for a while.
Feels like he carries himself like a big brother of like the whole gang, and like
kind of. That's sort of like his vibe. He's just Australian doing his thing.
Nice.
Yeah, he's like 31, 32. He's been driving since like 2015, I think, though, right? So he's a little bit on the veteran side.
All right.
Nope.
It's Tuesday. We're 2 days away from probably the start of the best weekend in sports. I mean, 4 straight days of college basketball on 24/7. It seems like Thursday and Friday are crazy days. They've got games on 3 or 4 at a time. I wanted to get a little quick opinion from you two in terms of who's going to be in the Final Four and who's winning it all this year. So I sent you guys a bracket.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is just not my core skill. I want to put that out there.
I mean,
we really forced this one.
We'll see how you do this year.
I respect it. I respect it.
I'll probably win.
Okay.
He said I'll probably win.
Okay.
Am I going first? Who's going first?
You want to go first?
Sure, I'll go first.
Cool.
I'm gonna go Texas Tech, Baylor, Kansas, and Villanova as my Final Four. And then my champion is gonna be Villanova.
Wow. Very nice. Ty, you care?
Yep. I got Zaga, UCLA, Arizona, and Wisconsin.
Wow, interesting decision.
Yep. And I have a Gonzaga, Arizona final. And I have Chet Holmgren going for 42 in the final.
Oh, that's awesome. That's fantastic. Well done. All right. Well, I looked at this about as much as Lou has. So I'm going to go Gonzaga as much as like Lou talked about before we started Coach K's final run. Would love to see them get there, but it ain't going to happen. Going Gonzaga. I will go Kentucky. Gonzaga, Kentucky, Auburn, and Arizona. And then I'm going to go Kentucky will lose in the finals to Arizona. So
Arizona winning.
Yeah,
I'm a big narrative guy.
Me too.
Like,
I love
I just want my story to play out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's also get Jay's on the record there. Duke, NC, Arizona, LSU, Arizona, Duke final, Arizona to win it. So Jay's on the record as well.
You have North Carolina going to the Final Four?
My interesting decision. He probably watches more than all of us combined. So
in May, I hope it's in my mouth. I just feel like North Carolina, the days of North Carolina and Duke are over with. Everyone can pay everyone.
All right. Next.
Wanted to talk a little bit about Thursday afternoon. Ripped a box of VeeFriends in Gary's office.
Mm-hmm.
Did a little IG live. I know we wanted to chat a little bit about it. Anything?
Should we talk about the price of the boxes, where they ended up? I feel like it was a lot higher than people expected.
$21.50.
$21.50.
On 800 boxes.
Yeah.
And only one person did the max, or 2 people did the max, I think.
So 2 people bought 40?
40. Yeah, I think it was 1 or 2. I'll look it up while we're talking.
I will go on record and say I started out with a bid. I bid a couple at 1,000, a couple at 1,200 at the same time. And then as it got closer, I decided, you know what? I just want to go all in on this. All in quotations. And I bid at $2,002.22 and fell short.
All in
And fell short. You know, sometimes you go all in and So
It was
the other,
two
you know,
people.
And
Two people who
Castillo.
bought 40, by the way. Confirmed.
yeah. So I was not able to purchase any, but 2,150. I saw the first box on eBay sold for what, Luke? 58.80 or 57.70
Something like that. They've gone up to like 6,500 now.
per box.
Yeah.
Wow. So when we ripped one, I don't have them in front of me with like multiple numbered cards. Shout out to for Lou for throwing me under the bus for saying I dropped a card. I mean, I got a lot of DMs. You know, shout out to my to the real friends I got that
You're
reached out.
sycophants who just will defend anything you do no matter what. Those people, right?
No, they're just good friends that just reached out and just said, "Hey, man, you didn't drop that card. That was definitely not on you."
Just good friends who just defend everything I do no matter
So
what.
is their take that Gary dropped it?
Absolutely, he just pulled it away too soon. If you watch the video and Jason even said it, and I have it on video of Jason saying it. So,
Oh, Jason's taking back his original take.
I have it on video. I don't know if you were there yet. Yeah, Jay and Lou and Ty and I were talking, and Jason's like, "You didn't do it." And Brian
one of
said
the
right there with
weirdest
camera,
things.
Boom.
One of like the most obvious jokes of all time that we have for the show going forward is Ryan dropped the card right in Gary's face, and Jason just immediately kills the take. Just puts it on video and just immediately kills the take. It's unbelievable.
Always trying to steal a moment.
I couldn't believe it when he said
steal
it.
A moment. One aspect. There's so many different. I mean, there's so many different things to talk about. The VeeFriends Zerocool's first product. Under Luber, obviously just launching Fanatics. Zerocool is more Topps and Panini than it is owning Topps and Panini. It's just a new subset of vertical. I'm excited to see what other moves they make. I think sneaker, there was one that they were doing with some sneaker designers, obviously streetwear people. I could see them collabing with a lot of different NFT projects. I could see them doing an Adam Bob Squad thing, World of Women, what have you. I think IP like Fortnite for one. I think Harry Potter, those types of like cultural things. Lord of the Rings is a big new Amazon show coming. I could see those actors doing autos, etc., through Zerocool. So I'm excited to see those things continue to roll out. And I think, if anything, what we've seen between whether it's F1, but really Marvel, different like actor auto cards, if you follow some of the Game of Thrones stuff, what's happened there. I think that continuation is important. I think it gets more people into the hobby. I know a lot of the OG hobby people, I want my old stuff back, but get on board because the world's moving one way and it's called forward. Then you got the VeeFriends. Then you got the VeeFriends, obviously branding and what's going on around that. I think that there's a lot of collector demand there, especially for people that have certain characters that are going to be chasing the match of their cards. I'm excited to see how that happens. And then finally, I mean, from G's mouth to our ears, I'm pretty sure we have 2 boxes to break with our community. And I don't know if we've firmed and officialed it, but to my understanding,
it's pretty official.
We've built out, the play of the week. We have our crew. If you win, you get a POAP. And we have a little IG group going for those people. We'll do some stuff down at National. But those winners will be the ones that'll be getting action into breaking the 2 boxes. I think we got to set up those logistics, but I'm pretty excited about that as one of the early things that we're doing for our Play of the Week winners.
Yeah, maybe we should say we're going to do it in 3 weeks so we get people a couple chances to make some good plays and get in.
I like that.
Yeah.
See if we can backdoor two new people in.
Yes, 2 studs are going to get in, and they'll have a chance for some VeeFriends cards.
About it. That's my take.
So I didn't talk, I posted the picture of the, Tarantula, and it was right before I got on a plane back to Columbus, and saw a bunch of people, the OG traditionalist, traditional hobbyists say stuff.
You mean the people that pay like $150,000 for a Boba Fett card, acting like anyone knows who the fuck that is?
So hear me out. So I didn't respond, right? I don't want to, not looking to really get into a bunch of drama. I would love to have a conversation with somebody as somebody that doesn't own a VeeFriends, digital collectible and real NFT. I didn't post, hey, go buy these. Just posted a picture of it. I got to share it with Gary. I thought that was fun. But like one of the arguments like that I would have, and again, I would just love to hear from somebody's perspective that's like interested in having a real conversation, not somebody that's just like the most anti-Gary, like just has nothing, it doesn't have interest in a real rational conversation. The thing I think about is, there's with the VeeFriends, right? Do I think VeeFriends is going to be relevant 10 years from now? Yes. Do I think Gary Vee will be relevant 10 years from now? Yes. Regardless of your opinion of Gary Vee, do I think Gary Vee will be relevant 10 years from now? Absolutely. Would I rather have something Gary Vee created, even if it is even if it is a drawing, whatever it is, do I expect somebody that is interested in Gary Vee and the message he's got in the community he's built, do I think that will have more sustainability over 10 years, or the market for Tua, Jordan Love, Jalen Hurts, Jacob Eason, some of these prospects that we put $2, $3, $4, $10, $50,000 in? Which one of those do I think is going to be more relevant long term? I think it will be Gary's card. It is the first one ever that Zerocool did, right? But I just a lot, again, like Tyler said, you're paying $150K for a Bo Bichette. Like, I love Fernando Tatis. He's amazing. One of the best young players in baseball. My man can't stay healthy. I mean, my gosh, he's out 3 more months with like.
He's always hurt.
He's always hurt. Like Zion, I think Zion could be really good, but if he's not, like, we're pissing away 20, 30, 40. Dude paid $500,000 for a Zion non-game worn patch auto. Non-game worn. We don't even know if Lucas signed his cards.
Right. How about spending $515,000 on a touchdown that becomes irrelevant within 24 hours of you buying?
So like, again, I'm not here to pump VeeFriends. Like, same reason I always say about F1. If you don't buy it, I don't care. I don't have any interest in. I don't need to pump an F1 market to run a successful business. I'm not looking to do that. I enjoy it with my wife, so it's fun to watch. But it's just like, I mean, I guess it comes with the territory. It's like when you get this place and you post things like this, people just say stupid, uneducated stuff, and it's like, I would be really curious to hear from somebody that is like actually completely on the other side of this. Like, hey, this is not a good idea. I don't like this. What you're into and like what your argument would be about it. I would just like to have a conversation about it one day. I think it would be interesting.
How about the 2021 Marvel Black Diamond Chris Hemsworth exclusive collection PSA DNA certified auto of him of 65 that's currently going for $5,000?
So what about and I don't know about this is something I was thinking about. What about Garbage Pail Kids? Like, is there a reason those sell for as well as they do? Is there something I'm missing there? Because like those sell for thousands of dollars and those are cartoons and those are drawings. Is it because they're better than Gary Vee's hand-drawn stuff that those sell for more? Or what, they're 40 years old? So if we hold Gary's for 40 years, it's okay. But if we sell them in the next 4 months, it's not okay? Like, I'm just trying to understand the rationale there. Like, those cards are stupid. I have no interest in them. I didn't grow up collecting them. So I'm like, somebody buys those. Are we supposed to tell them that paying $15,000 for an Atom Bomb card is like, people the pessimism and then negativity. But hey, buy Jordan Love, buy Tua, buy Jalen Hurts. Those guys are going to be real good. Like Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert are going to win 10 Super Bowls, and so is Josh Allen, and so is Mahomes, and all these guys are going to keep winning, and all their stuff is going to sustain. But Gary, man, it's a big scam, man. Gary's doing this to raise a couple extra bucks that he needs real bad. It just doesn't make any sense.
I love you, Ryan.
I love you too, Ryan.
Also, never mind. I'm not going to go down that path. Maybe it was a bad take.
We should go down that.
No, it was actually a bad path. I was going to start talking about Deshaun Watson, and I don't need to go down that path because I don't actually know what happened. So
we don't need to go down that path.
In the court or not, I'm not going to sit here and defend Deshaun Watson not for a single second because I don't fucking know. But I will say a little bit of the counter is that for all the energy that we have and I think we have to accept some of it comes with the territory, and equal amount of love brings equal amount of hate, and it's the reality. It's going to play out. And I think that's what that is. And there's days where it's like frustrating, and then there's days where it's like, all right, we'll keep rocking, because for all of the negativity that may come around it, I think there's equal amount more positivity towards it. And I think that we can do a better job of just focusing in on that and that crew.
Yeah, I think there's infinitely more positive like energy about it than negative energy about it. The one thing I would just say is like, I there's two parts I don't get. There's number one, there's the pocket watching of the like, you're paying this much for this, and it's like, dude, number one, like, who is anybody to tell anybody how to spend their money? That's number one. And number two is like, if this is how you feel about the VeeFriends thing, that's completely fine. Like, I can get there in my head of why people don't like it. I think it's dumb, but I can get there. The part I don't get is like, even if only for like understanding how Zerocool is going to start releasing things, seeing that whole process, watching that all go through. Like, we talk about like getting the reps of doing stuff. Like, I wanted to just do it just to see how it worked, because I know it's going to impact how I do things going forward. Right. So like the blind reverse Dutch, signing up for the account, the whole beforehand, that's something to keep in mind. I think that's pretty interesting. Like, all of that stuff is a piece of it that even if you hate the cards, like, just get a feel for the experience, because this is what your hobby life is like going forward, I would imagine.
And I think the bigger picture is like, we talk about this anytime, like, especially when we talk about F1, we talk about Marvel, we talk about Pokemon, something that's not your LeBron James, Michael Jordan, Tom Brady collectible is, before you listen to somebody and you just go buy something, you should do your research on your own, right? Like, we talked about it. Like, if the Lewis Hamilton Dynasty auto I own goes to zero, that's the decision I made, right? Like, I'm okay with the consequences of that going to zero. I enjoy watching F1 with my wife. I understand that. If you're not in a financial position to lose the amount of money that costs, whether it's a F1 card, a Marvel PMG, or a Gary Vee Friends Zerocool box, don't buy it, right? Like, this isn't meant to be like, hey, go buy, like, telling you to go buy Gary Vee. Would I like to own a box and keep it for 10 years? Absolutely. But I can stomach the risk of that. Not everybody can. It's not meant to be that. And again, like Lou said, if somebody's got the money, there's always people are always looking for alternative assets, other ways to diversify their money. If somebody wants to spend it on it, like, yeah,
I can't stand pocket watching. It drives me bananas.
Yeah. But let's move on. Something a little bit more positive. Let's get into some of the Facebook questions. I know Jason said we had a bunch of them. So this is from Chris Sarah McCamey.
This is a great point.
Literally. First question. Thoughts on Vee Friends Uno or Zerocool being considered rookie cards? Uno sold first but has not shipped yet, as far as I know.
Wow.
It's a sneaky question. I don't know what it is.
Chris, thoughts on Vee Friends Uno or Zero being considered rookie cards? I wouldn't consider the Uno personally rookie cards. I feel like it's more of a game that uses the IP.
I agree.
I haven't seen them. I think that there's hollows in there. I think that there's collectability in there. I think it goes back to the F1, F2 debate. The narrative will win.
Yeah, like
if you're in NFTs, punks, apes, Bored Apes, how that's worked, how that's played out, what's historical, who wins. I think it comes down to narrative. I'm not sure.
Also, like, or both, because
that's what I mean.
Completely different price points, and
we've all been to shows. I mean, someone pulls up Pop One.
Sure.
Like, bro, what do you mean it's a Pop One? Yeah, because someone else decided to grade the damn thing. It doesn't put value on it because it's a Pop One.
Yeah, and it's like flagship versus Chrome product. Like, all of that stuff is interesting.
Yeah, Sapphire.
Yeah.
So, I don't have that answer. I also don't think we are the end all be all. I think that's a gray thing.
Yeah, the market will decide.
The market will decide. Yeah.
Time will tell.
Yep.
All right, this is from Smallville Sports Cards. This is Lou. Baseball's back. What teams are contenders or pretenders?
Oh, man. I mean, listen, your favorites are the usual suspects. It's the Dodgers. It's the
Yankees.
Astros. It's definitely not the Yankees. The Yankees are not. A World Series contender.
Why? Because we got rid of the greatest catcher of all time.
That was when you talk about addition by subtraction, trading Gary Sanchez is the definition of addition by subtraction.
Literally, the pitching room threw a party. As he went on the street.
Unbelievable.
Is he bad?
Bro, he's the worst.
He just doesn't know how to catch, right? Like
Yankee fans hate that guy. He just is incapable of being a defensive catcher. Incapable. He just can't do it. So I would say Dodgers, Astros, White Sox, I want to say, are a hot team. The Mets, as far as pretenders, it's too hard to say. The Yankees are pretenders because they're always pretenders. They've been pretending for 15 years.
What about the Reds, man? The
Reds
stink. Trading everybody away, man. Season not even started. They're trading everybody away. That's terrible.
How it goes. These owners they don't care about anything. They just want to save money.
That's one thing I talked about it before, like with baseball. It's not even a level playing field.
A lot of sports aren't a level playing field.
Yeah, football is.
Is it though? Like the Jags, until yesterday, were operating in a completely different way from other teams.
They still are. They paid Christian Kirk like $75 million.
But at least they're spending the money.
He's never had a 1,000-yard season.
At least they're spending the money now. So
they signed Zay Jones, Christian Kirk, and Evan Ingram and said, "Hey, T-Law, how's this work for you?"
I respect it. It's one way. It's one way to build a team. Wouldn't be how I did it, but it's one way to build a team.
They're both kind of sneaky, like second drivers in F1 now getting the number one slot.
That's fair.
Christian Kirk getting a chance to be a real number one is interesting. I wanted him on the
Zay Jones too, bro.
Yeah, Zay Jones wasn't terrible, and I wanted him to I want Trevor Lawrence to have Jamar Chase like Joe Burrow does, not Evan Ingram and Zay Jones.
Not just about a year ago, Jamar Chase had too small of hands to catch a football.
Yeah, we'll see.
And Evan Ingram could also have one of those swan songs. Remember when they said he couldn't catch the ball?
Yeah, we'll see. All right, Jay, next question.
But let me make a real quick point. Also, don't sleep on the Braves as a repeat champion.
With Kuna back, they signed.
Not sleep on the Braves.
They traded for what? Matt Olson?
Yes, they traded for Matt Olson yesterday.
Yeah, so that means Freeman's basically gone.
Yeah, they just couldn't afford him. Their GM was crying on the field, talking to reporters yesterday about it. It's like crazy. They must be so tight-knit over there. It's like insane.
In Atlanta?
Yeah, the GM was crying on the field that they couldn't get him back.
I respect that.
Yeah, me too.
All right, Darren Young asks, thoughts on eBay announcements, basically about the vault.
It's inevitable.
Yeah, I tried to get more information in advance of the show, but it's pretty basic, and it's like what the other vault offerings are. It's just directly with eBay as opposed with an auction house. Inevitability is the key. Everyone's going to do this.
Yeah, it seems
digitize assets. You get your card, you ship it to the vault, you get a token, whether that's an NFT or some other digital form of ownership, and that is how everyone will be operating going forward to cut down shipping costs, to cut down, whatever else.
Yep. All right, Samuel Reeser says, Lou, thoughts on the new 2021 F1 Blaster hobby boxes that dropped? Side note, I just picked up 2 blaster boxes.
Flagship is a little different because at a certain level, it's hard for me to wrap my head around like the production numbers to the rise in demand value. So I would say the flagship is going to have a less of a chance to do well as opposed to a Chrome. But I just think anything F1 right now, anything F1 you can get at a retail value, I think is like a pretty safe play. Right? Would you agree with that? Like anything F1 at retail cost is pretty good.
I ripped one yesterday.
Did you?
Yeah. I've been ripping like cheap blaster boxes that I enjoy like this to make TikTok content out of it. And hit this.
How's your TikTok game?
Jesus.
That's fire.
It's not worth a ton, but it's so cool.
How's your TikTok game? Growing?
We have like 30K on TikTok. Like when I first heard about it, Gary said, "Hey, you got to be on TikTok." I posted the video of me pulling that Luca NT first off the line auto. It's just like real quick, threw it in there. It got like 805K views. It went viral pretty quickly. So I was like, okay, this is cool. So like videos now get like 3K on average, and we'll have one every now and then get 10, and then one will get 30. So like we posted a Fortnite. I told Lou about this. I posted it like when Lou was talking about Fortnite, I had a Fortnite set. Like I posted it and it got like 200K. The thing about TikTok that's so fun is it's like one of the only social apps at the moment that you don't need to like pay to play on. Like you can go viral like the audience decides. Like it's just it's a lot more organic. So it's cool. It's just.
Have you seen that in your Instagram? You feel it's much harder to like get reach now? I mean, obviously you've grown following and continue to have good momentum in that.
Yeah, just like I know at this point on on Instagram, like what won't do well. Like if it's a picture of me and somebody else, like if it's like a more personal thing around like me, it's like or people, like the human aspect, it's a little like easier for a post to do well. Like if it's a picture of something I enjoy, like F1 or Ohio State, like I posted an Orlando Pace card or hockey, those posts don't typically do as well. If it's like a Tom Brady contenders or a Mickey Mantle rookie or like some super expensive big card or a picture of me somewhere, like it does different. So I don't mean to go down that road, but yeah, F1 blasters, like I think they're like $40 or $45 retail at the moment, like on the secondary market. They're not like you're not guaranteed to hit your money back but risk versus reward. They're fun to rip for the price. So I've ripped like 4 of them. They're cool.
I'm a fan.
Rick Ellis asks, am I crazy for thinking WWE Prizm might be one of the biggest releases of the year? Cherry was saying it's the most hyped preseason release since F1 Dynasty. If the checklist is on point, I see this exploding. It's already, from my understanding, I saw this yesterday, I believe it's pre-selling for $808 currently.
Yeah, I sent it in our chat yesterday. I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw that.
That's where I saw it, yeah.
$800 for a box of WWE is crazy.
But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. I mean, Dynasty, when it came out, was what, $700 a box, $800 a box? I think it's up to like 30, like right around the $3,000 mark. I think they're about 15,000, 18,000 a case. It's been a while since I've looked, but
yeah, I would like to know. I need to do some research on what the checklist is when it becomes available. Prizm, man, just the brand name is just so big and so important. Like, what was WWE Topps Chrome? 100 and something. Like,
people
when did it come out?
It hasn't come out.
WWE Topps Chrome. He's talking about. Tyler,
right?
I
think
Topps Chrome.
Yeah.
It came out a month ago, 2 months ago, maybe something like that.
Yeah, WWE Prizm comes out the 6th of April.
WWE Topps Chrome 2021, like sealed. Let me check this out real quick. The point I'm trying to make here is like the difference between Prizm and Topps Chrome is just mind-boggling. $140 for 2021 Topps Chrome WWE.
What's your gut take? I just keep going back. Gut take on total boxes produced for WWE Prizm.
I have no idea. I'm
like,
so good at that.
I always wonder if like things like that, do they when you're first doing a product like that, do you keep production low to really like just really increase the secondary demand for it? Like you don't make as much of it, so supply is lower, demand is really, really high, and then you drive the price up and the demands for it, and then that allows you to print more of it the second time because you know demand's through the roof.
I don't know how much future secondary sales impacts their production.
Fair.
Like as opposed to
I don't even think they look at it.
Yeah, as opposed to like this is how much Target is going to order and this is how much we're going to produce.
Sorry, they look at it. I don't think it infers anything.
Yeah, I think it has no
They're thinking about money.
Do you think they load up the product then? Do you think that's ever considered in any company's mind that they like make it?
Also why everything's going to be NFTs, because they would be making 10% on every resale of every box. It's called business.
Everything is money.
But my point is, WWE Prizm's going for $800 on the lowest low side. Maybe they're making 2,000 boxes.
It's gonna be way more than that.
Oh,
yeah.
2,000? No. Oh my gosh, no. It'd be insane.
Cool. Guess how many VeeFriends Zerocool boxes there are, and it went for 2,100. And guess how much a Series 1 VeeFriend sells for actively on a daily basis?
We can do the VeeFriends.
And this is Panini. Panini. Cash grab. Blah, 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 blah. People are just ridiculous.
I agree.
All right. Longer question. Harris Decker says,
Brian Johnson
you guys love your dollar box finds, and I'm right there with you. Love the hunt. Just curious if you guys have any thoughts on comping dollar cards. Was set up at a show this past weekend and had a kid sit there and look up 30 $1 cards he put out of the box. Curious to hear your thoughts on card show etiquette. Am I way off here? Yeah, I mean, if it's a kid, I respect the hustle. Like what I went through, I think I talked about this when we were in New York, like with Gary. When I was in Dallas, a gentleman was actually a younger collector that follows my content that actually showed me this guy's dollar boxes after he got some incredible steals. Went through this guy's dollar boxes for about an hour, and there was I put out 100, and I probably looked up 5. Like it's $1 typically. Like I'm not, I think like Tyler said earlier, or Lou said earlier, like the repetition is part of it. So like willing to test it and see how I do on $1. Like if it's 10, 20, it's a different story. But typically on dollar stuff, I'm not looking something up, but I also don't. It doesn't bother me. Everybody's trying to get a good deal. Everybody's trying to find something that's underpriced. So if they're looking it up, if I'm willing to sell it at $1 and they want to look it up, to me, it's not really that big of a deal.
Yeah, I feel unless you're a kid, like it's $1. Let's move it along.
Yeah, I'm not pocket watching. It's somebody else's money. Somebody else somebody else might be only have $20 to flip, and they're trying to make the best $20, decision they have. So I'm not, if somebody wants to sit there and look up every card, that's their time, that's their money, that's their energy. I have it at $1, whether they want to look up 5 cards or 5,000 cards. Do you
think etiquette wise at a show though, like there's people walking around trying to get in the box, you're standing in front of it, is that a piece of the puzzle or no?
Yeah, I'm not like sitting in the middle of 5 boxes and not getting out of the way. I think that's a different conversation. If I'm
thinking etiquette wise.
Yeah, like I might try my best to get out of the way, maybe back up, maybe go somewhere where I can look up a couple cards sooner.
Yeah, I'm with that for sure.
So yeah, I'm not trying to do anything to hurt the dealer, but I'm definitely willing to look up cards if I think I'm trying to make the best decision.
Also, if you're a dealer, like try to have a little area set aside where people can sit and look stuff up. I've seen that at shows before. That's a big factor.
Yeah, I think it's like each one teach one.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is like card show, everyone does business differently. There's levels of success for that reason. I think card shows are beautiful in that there's so many different nuances to learn. And I think that if you're a grown woman or grown man sitting there dealing and you have a dollar box with 30, enough supply that a kid's going to come up and pull out 30 and starts looking at everything, it's one of two ways. Yo, buddy, take it or leave it. Like, I got business to do. And then that may shock him and teach him into, I don't know, I got to either move quick or not. And you may roll into another dealer that's like super nice and yeah, take all the time you want. So like everyone operates and rolls differently. I think doing business teaches a lot to people. Look, I leave as much crap that we give Jay. Sometimes I leave a decent bit of dollars on the table because I value my time and don't want to deal with it. And like Lou, we talked about the show, like when I kind of make a binary decision, I'm very like, all right, I'm going to get this. And whether it's 95 or 100, not with my time to go there. Other times it is. And so I think that card show etiquette is few and far between. Your vendor, you run your business. Someone comes up and wants to do another deal with someone on top of your glass case, unless you say, yo, this is my place of business and you can't do this here, then whose fault? So I think there's all different aspects of it, and you only learn card show etiquette. The only way you learn card show etiquette is being told by a grown man as a kid, yo, you don't do that.
That's so true. That's like a funny video, like little things you don't realize that everyone does at card shows. Like putting the cards on someone else's table is like kind of a bad move. If you like.
Well, yeah, because it happens a lot of times. Someone comes up, starts doing a deal with the vendor. Another person rolls in, pulls out their card. You're like, whoa. Okay, all of a sudden you're sitting on someone else's class case doing a deal with this person.
That's a no.
It's a hard no, right?
It's a hard no.
But you wouldn't know that unless you're.
And as the two customers, unless you tell me to scram, like it's not maybe the first thing on everyone's mind. But guess what? The people that it is on their mind are probably a little bit further advanced in business. It's just it's very simple. Not everyone can get on the mic and do a podcast just because they can. So it's like there's a lot to it, but the only way you actually learn and know is by reps and going. And so I'm not going to bash that kid. I would say the vendor, like if you see something you feel you can pass on knowledge wise, I think we should all think about it that way versus like, you're wrong, you're playing this whole thing wrong. I think it's always commendable to see a kid trying to do his thing. Each one teach one.
Yeah, agreed. All right, so shout out
I
to
remember
everybody.
real quick story off the back of that. Selling used video games at GameStop, trade-in. I remember distinctly. I go there with my friend and his mother back in the day. I'm trying to trade it in for like a game, like all my like old, like I bring like a ton of old games. I pull up like all my classics. They're like $17. I got this long line behind me. I start crying immediately because I'm like, they have my games. I'm like, I take all the games back and walk out of the store.
That's wild.
I remember just bawling. I'm like, what do you mean $17?
One of the all-time ripoffs is the GameStop.
Is the trade-in, yeah.
I mean, making 800%.
Yeah, then
killing people. They would buy your game
for 3x.
Yeah, they'd buy your game for $5 and list it, and then literally slap
40.
a sticker on it, put it on the thing for
40.
25. It's crazy.
Yeah, wild.
In your face.
Wild. All right. Shout out to everybody submitted Facebook questions. Again, if you guys have not checked out the Facebook group, it's just Card Talk Pod on there. All right. Time for play of the week. And as Tyler mentioned earlier, we've got some cool things coming up in the next few weeks, next few months, maybe sometime around Atlantic City. If you're thinking about making a play, this is the time. It will pay off in the end, especially if you end up winning. So let's get into play of the week. All right. Well, this is going to be insane. What's up, y'all? This is from Big Baller Card 2.0. It says, what's up, y'all? I got a good play of the week. About a year ago, I bought a Jason Terry Superfractor 101 off Mercari, a marketplace app, for $65. I love Superfractors, and I thought it was a nice card and maybe worth like $80 to $100. When I got it, it looked really good and thought I could get a 9. About a year later, I finally got it back from a PSA sub, which is $20, and it got a 10. I was pumped and decided to hold it for a little while. When I made it available, I was asking around $1,500 and got an offer for $1,300 trade value, which I almost took, but I decided just to send it to auction instead. I consigned it on eBay and it sold for $4,600. Many people told me it was shilled, but the buyer paid, and now I'm looking to use that money to buy. I'm looking to use that money in a similar buy as this Terry.
Can I make a quick comment? Just because something sells for a lot of money doesn't mean it's shilled. Like, who's shilling Jason Terry?
No one.
Like, what are we talking about? Just give the guy the credit. He made a good play.
Yeah. I love buying stuff like this at shows. This is, to me, is one of the all-time underrated plays. When I see this stuff at shows anymore, like, the way I look about it is, especially as cards have grown over the last couple of years, 18 months to 2 years, I think about this as like, there's always there's a collector for everybody out there. I collected a guy that went to the same high school as I did in the middle of nowhere, and only has a couple rookie cards. And what I would pay for the best rookie card he has is astronomical. So anytime I ever go to a show and I'm in a value box and I see like a 5 to 20-year-old 101 or at a 2 or at a 5 or at a 10 in a value box, it's a play. It's a play. Somebody out there has been looking for that card for a long time. You may not get rich, right? And shout out to you for helping that person find their dream card. Again, I'm not here to pocket watch. If they want to pay $500 for it and I paid $5, mazel tov. If they want to pay, $15 for it and I paid $5, cool. But I think
also on the pocket watching thing, you have no clue if this person won $100,000 parlay in Vegas with the boys on some Jason Terry buzzer beater and has just always wanted to pay it back to the mans. I don't know, but I do whenever I see a Superfractor, I think of Jay. And I think I'm trying to remember what Jay, because he made a play on a random one Superfractor Jay, if you're here at National, a random soccer helmet.
He offered it to me.
And then he flipped it on the real flip. Jay, real quick, pop on. Give me a quick story.
He bought it when somebody came up to the table, and then he offered it to me.
Yeah, some guy pulled it out of a pack, comes up and he's like, I want $1,000 for it. And this is the one time I negotiated. I told the guy I'd give him 500. I forget the guy's name. It was a
was it Borussia Dortmund?
It was some soccer player. I don't even remember the guy, to be honest. I can look on my eBay and figure it out. But yeah, I offered it. I bought it for 500. I offered it to Rye for 800. He said no thanks. I put it up on eBay for 1,500. It sold within an hour.
Yeah,
probably should have put it up for higher, but.
So whenever I think of one-on-ones, if you see them and have the opportunity, and it's not like the person trying to get the thing feels undervalued. To your point, Rye, always make a play.
It's just low risk. It has high reward. So
there you go.
Big baller cards. I like my man's logo.
All right, let's get to the next one. It's a good play. Good start.
Mm-hmm.
All right, this is from More Than a Hobby Cards. So Mike says, after months of listening to Brett on Stacking Slabs about his passion for wrestling cards, I finally decided to stir up some nostalgia for myself. I came across the 2014 WWE Topps Chrome Complete Refractor set, which is the first year Chrome for WWE. It was on eBay and I snagged it for about $130 on November 3rd. Upon receiving the cards, I was surprised by how many were in great shape. I decided to send 8 of them to SGC for $25 each, totaling $200. I was stunned to see 5 of them gem, including The Rock and Brock Lesnar, making them pop 1 at the time. I have since sold all 8 of the graded ones and have most of the raw ones in lots and singles, totaling $985, which is a profit of $655 for very little work. I'm continuing down the WWE rabbit hole and now have F1 thanks to you guys. Love the show. Mike, go Bucks.
It blows my mind the amount of Ohio State Buckeye fans compared to Penn State listeners we have every episode.
Sure.
I just don't get it.
Definitely should.
Sycophants.
Kills me.
Great play. Love this.
Yeah, love it.
Love buying a complete set and finding some good graded ones and submitting them.
1,000% buying the set. That's a cool thing.
Super smart. Works every time. I just continue to be amazed by the power of the wrestling community. People like The Rock are obviously the Rock's obviously a little bit different, but these are very clearly like wrestling cards. So love it.
Yeah. Big fan. Very well done. All right, Jay. This next one is from Any Day. Oh, there it is.
Ooh.
All right. So this is from Bean Machine. It says, my wife and I have been cooped up in our house since having a baby, and I finally convinced her to do a family outing to a small local card show here in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Now that our boy is about 5 months old. Being in Canada, there was a ton of hockey cards, but I gravitated to a table with some UFC cards on display. A 2009 Joe Rogan rookie card caught my eye as I've been listening to his podcast recently, and I figured his cards might spike since around that time he was all over the news about a COVID controversy. There was a dealer asking 200 Canadian, but I ended up getting him down to 120. Plus, he threw in a Tiger Woods Goodwin Champion Splash of Color card too. Ultimately, I would be happy to keep both cards on my PC, but I threw the Rogan up on eBay for $250 USD as a promoted listing just to see what would happen, and I got a couple offers the very next day. I accepted an offer for 200 USD, which is about 256 Canadian. So after fees, I netted just over $100, and I still have the Tiger Woods card as a keepsake to remember my son's first card show.
Reps and congratulations to this man for getting out of the house after the baby, and the first thing he did was go to a card show. I respect that on a serious level.
Agreed. That's the ultimate play. I mean, congrats on the baby. I like how you keep the Tiger for first card show. Make a couple bucks. Yeah, I mean this is the play.
Yeah, I think we lost time, but it's okay. I love it. I love this play. I love that his first time going out after having a baby was going to a card show. And I liked 200, 256, quick and easy. You learn something, or 120 to 250. Learn something, make a move. Love it.
Yep. All right, Jay. This is from Sadie Family Cards. It says, keeping as an old-fashioned eBay auction. On 11/27/21, Probstein was ending several similar cards back-to-back. Taking advantage of this, I bought a LeBron Topps Chrome Refractor Raw, a 2017 Fleer Ultra PMG Spider-Man Raw, and a Hulk PMG SGC 8 for a total of $13,599. I sent the LeBron Express to SGC and Spider-Man regular service. Grading costs were about $525 for a total investment of $13,624. After fielding several laughable offers on the LeBron, accompanied about stories on why SGC should be X of PSA or BGS, I remained firm on my price range on 113. I remained firm on my price range. On 113, I sold the LeBron 9 for $18,850, friends and family, which sold far higher than the BGS 9s at the time, and on par with PSA 9s. Up $5,226 from the LeBron sale, I continue to watch the Marvel PMGs rise. Finally, after 3 months from the auction, I sold the PMGs direct for $2,500 PayPal goods and services. Total all-in profit was $7,653.26 over 3 months.
Great work. I'm not going to go after the SGC thing for the LeBron. I can kind of see what people are doing there, but I like it. It's a implication of how well SGC is doing. So congrats to them on that. Great play here. I love sitting on the PMGs for a little bit longer and letting those ride out a little bit.
Yeah, it's crazy to see those PMGs.
How do we feel about submitting 2-month-old plays?
I don't disagree with your take here.
It wasn't
because I like it, but it's
hang on. Jay has thoughts.
It wasn't a 2-month-old play. He sold the LeBron in January, but he recently sold the PMGs. He waited another few months for the PMGs.
That's right.
So,
yeah, I mean, honestly, we've been doing this for so long now. People were buying these cards a year ago and then saving them for 6 or 9 months, and talking about how they got in on them early and created them and waited and sold some and then kept some and then sold some more. Like, I just a play's a play. I mean, if you would have bought these last March and sold them in last, November, I would say it's a different story. I don't think it's relevant anymore. But if part of the play lingers on through a couple month period, I think that just, makes the story what it is.
We know what Ty's not voting for this week, that's for sure.
I just it's hard for me to. I mean, at the end of the day, whoever bought that LeBron is down right now.
Yep.
So I like the play. I just feel like the Bron part of it.
Yeah,
if there's Fleer, if it's a recent off of the PMGs, amazing. It's a play. I was just asking. If someone came on here and was like Luka, but they were buying Lukas at $5, graded them, and we're selling them now, I think it's still a play. But if you came on here and you were like, I was selling Lukas at $1,200, and I'm trying to get the POAP and be in the VeeFriends box break, I'm like, that's not how this game works.
I respect the play. All right, Jay, is there any more? Yep. All right, this is a long one. All right.
Is that a Tiger Woods?
Yes. No, that's definitely not Tiger's auto.
Fred Couples, fire.
This is from Big Tuck TV. So it says, it's finally time I submit a play of the week. Here it goes. I got into the closed beta of NFL All Day, which is the NFL version of Top Shot. Some of my buddies who are also in Top Shot started a group text with me when the latest NFL pack Q started the other day while I was at work. I decided to hop in, got a pack for about $49 plus tax, which I opened and pulled an Alvin Kamara out of 10,000, Josh Allen out of 10,000, and a Tom Brady out of 10,000 for a total value of $485. I then decided to sell the Josh Allen and Tom Brady because I'm unsure I want to stay invested in case a Top Shot price fall happens. And after the 5% market fee and leaving some balance in my account, I cashed out $410 in crypto to take to the Dallas Card Show for PC spending money. Pickups: a PC golf card, Fred Couples exquisite auto, asking $60, got for $40. Jay would never.
Jay could never. He could never.
The pound for pound top UFC women's fighter, Valentin Shevchenko, UFC Immaculate Relic.
Good job, Rye.
Out of 99, asking $80, got for $40. Jaylen Brown Red Mosaic Gem 95, asking $100, got for $80. Jaylen Brown Starburst Prizm PSA 10 $325, got for $250. And then 2 UFC retail boxes to rip at home after the show, asking $105, I paid $100. Freddie is still relevant every Masters week. Valentina is the best fighter in the UFC. Jaylen Brown is underpriced on a hot Celtics team that I'm a fan of. Shout out to Jay, the MVP, and Ryan for the pricing tips on the jersey number driver cards in Dallas.
NFL all day. Things are happening.
Things are happening in the entire digital space. Every day that goes by, people in cards are getting more into it, and they're blending. Fred Couples, I like to play. Just like when we talk about PMGs, just like when we talk about hockey and Connor McDavid, there will be a moment in the next 18 months where we all regret not owning more Tiger Woods low supply stuff. But here we are. I haven't made any plays. I do think the Celtics are hot and undervalued, and that Jason Tatum is like a real guy. If their success means anything, I think that works for Jaylen Brown. I also just like that they're PC pickups, and then he said, "Thanks NFL all day. I'm just go buy some cards I like." Big fan of that. Like the play is flipping NFL all day into PC is a different approach, and I'm pretty into it.
Here for it.
Yep. Last one.
I think that's it. Yep.
Yeah.
There's some good ones here.
This is tough. Man. I really like a lot of these.
I'm gonna go Terry.
And that's that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Terry. I think the 1 of 1, $65 into 4,600 is undeniable.
Ty, I'll let you pick and then I'll go because I'm debating between like 2 or 3 of these.
For me, it was either Big Tuck, taking NFL all day and using it to buy some cards in the PC, but Jason Terry.
Okay, I'm in.
Big baller cards.
Yeah,
Let's go, big baller.
Jason Terry. Yeah, I'm in on that. I like the finding things on other apps like Mercari like this. I think that's kind of a sneaky way to buy it.
Yeah.
Again, we talk about buying that low numbered stuff that's 10, 15, and is 15 years old. So yeah, I like the play a lot. Very cool. So shout out to Big Baller Card 2.0 Hudson on the win. All right. As we wrap it up, we got latest launch. Let's see what comes out this week. All right.
Miles Jack is a free agent.
Yeah, I saw that. After he spent all that money yesterday, they got to release the dude that led the team in tackles.
Tough.
All right. Limited football. That's what you got.
So this is what I'm talking about. We just did this last week. There was a gazillion releases, and now there's one release this week. It's crazy.
Yeah, next week has some releases. Next week you have second ever Prizm UFC release. You have Fortnite Series 3 trading cards. You have Upper Deck Artifacts Hockey.
Fortnite Series 3.
Yep, comes out next week.
Chapter 3 skins.
I have some of that coming. Maybe we'll do like a card talk box break.
Fortnite's the most back.
Fortnite is the most back. Yeah, I don't know. I think I hear Andy. Is that what I hear?
I'm on the hunt for all things Jacob Ramsey out of the Premier League Prizm product.
Wait a minute. Wait.
What, did you pull a big time Jacob Ramsey?
Wait. You're talking Jacob. I think that's who that dude was. Hold on.
Aston Villa player?
Yeah. Somebody pulled one in shop out of 25.
The orange?
Yeah.
Wow.
He put it up in auction. It's like $500 already. The first sale was like $800.
Ties buys.
Oh, right. I opened one pack of 2021 on Loop over the weekend. One pack of 2021 F1, and I got an orange red Yuki. Fired up.
I'm still
I
like,
love cards.
I'm not a fan of like these orange or golds that are numbered. I can't.
It drives me nuts. I get it, but right, because here's the alternative, right? Like I've gone around on this in my head. The alternative is there's just not as much F1 available. I'd rather there be more F1 available.
Rye, can you do me a favor and DM me that post of the homie that pulled that Jacob Ramsey?
Yes.
Thanks.
Yep, I'll send it to you right now. All right, it's a wrap. That's all we got.
Great show.
Heck of a show. Appreciate you guys listening. We will see you next week.
Peace.
So rare, it's getting hot. Be careful.